Ram 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 Hare Hare.
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसदि गौर भक्तवृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसदि गौर भक्तवृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसदि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So today is Wednesday. It is 10th of September. It is Ashwini Masa or Padmanabha Masa, Krishna Paksham, and Tadiya Tithi. There are no Vaishnava events in the calendar. We shall move into our daily Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. So in the Srimad Bhagavatam, the demigods are offering their prayers to the Supreme Personality of Godhead to carry out their functions. So in those prayers, so far there are 13 shlokas. Out of 13 shlokas, 7 shlokas are only surrendering onto the lotus feet of the Lord. So they will say, uh, people in this material world, by taking shelter of your lotus feet, they will be freed from all kinds of miseries. And then we are taking the shelter of your lotus feet. And you are the Father of all the living entities. So we are taking shelter of your lotus feet. You are the reason for Srishti Siddhi Pralaya Sadhana. So, and we are taking your shelter of your lotus feet. Then, in such a way, they are offering prayers like taking shelter at all times. And also people who are attached to the family and with the different kinds of material attachments, they cannot see even though you are in the heart of all the living entities. So we are taking shelter of your lotus feet. And other people, they cannot understand your lotus feet, and only devotees can understand your lotus feet. So likewise, we are taking shelter of your lotus feet. So in such a way, there are 7 shlokas only to take the shelter of lotus feet of the Lord. And then next 6 shlokas, they are describing. One shloka is for the Krishna Katha, glorifying Krishna Katha. Just by drinking the Krishna Katha, one can get the Jnana, Vairagya, and Bhakti, and then they will go back to Vaikuntha. And how much is it? Many people, they meditate in the secluded places and then trying to control their senses. It will be very hard. But devotees, they simply engage in the service. They will take to your abode of the Lord. So they will go back to the Vaikuntha again very easily. And also here, demigods are next sloka, third sloka of the next out of 6 shlokas. They're mentioning that we have born one after another, and then we are off in by the material modes of nature from the mode of goodness. So that's why we could not act independently. So again, we need your mercy, oh my dear Lord. So they are putting their inability. In the next shloka, they are mentioning about the balim, is the offerings to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Oh my dear Lord, by your mercy, all the food grains and everything is supplied to all the living entities. So as soon as we have got that one, we offer it to you, and we will take it for ourselves, and also we will distribute to all other living entities. In such a way, there will be auspiciousness to everyone. In such a way, they were glorifying. So that is Yavat Bhalim Tej Haramakale Yata Vaim Channa Madama Yatra. Yete Ubhayeshamta Imehi Loka Balim Haranto Annam Adanti Anuhaha Yata Ubhayesham. For the Supreme Lord and also for the living entities. Yata Ubhayesham Ta Imehi Loka Balim Haranta Annam Adanti Anuhaha. Likewise, demigods are praying. So there are out of 2 more shlokas left. So there, in the next shloka, demigods are praying that, oh my dear Lord, you are the topmost of all the living entities. You are unchangeable, and you are the source of all other living entities. You exist from all the time immemorial. So demigods are mean. And then you inject your semen into the Mahatattva, into the nature, and then all living entities manifested. So likewise, they're mentioning you're unborn, likewise. So just again glorifying the Lord. We are in the Srimad Bhagavatam, third canto, chapter 5, and verse number 50. So by tomorrow we would complete this one. We may recite this chapter on Saturday. There are 51 shlokas totally. त्वं नः सुराणामसि सान्वयानां कूटस्य आद्यः पुरुषः पुराणः त्वं देवशक्यं गुणकर्मयोनौ रेतस्त्वजायां कविमाददेजः त्वं नः सुराणामसि सान्वयानं त्वं नः your lordship and naha for ourselves suranam suranamasi of the demigods as you are sanvayanam with different gradations. In the demigods also there are different gradations. Sanvayanam Kotastha Adhyaha, and Kotastha is the who is unchanged without, and Adhyaha without any superior. Kotastha Adhyaha, he is the topmost of all the even the demigods as well. Tvam naha suranamasi sanvayanam Kotastha Adhyaha Purushaha Puranaha. Purushaha, he is the person, the founder person, he is the man. A man in the sense, the enjoyer. Purushaha. So the founder person, Purushaha Puranaha, the oldest who has no other founder. Purana, oldest who has no other founder. So they are glorifying Krishna. You are the Ishwaraha Paramaha Krishnaha Sachidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govindaha Sarvakarana Karanam. Likewise, here it's similar kind of meaning it is described. Twamnaha Suranamasi Sanvayanam Kothastadhyaha Purushaha Puranaha. Tvam Devasekyam Gunakarma Yonau. Tvam Devasekyam. And Tvam, you yourself, Deva, O Lord, Sekyam unto the energy, Sekyam Gunakarma Yonav, Gunakarma unto the cause of material modes and activities. Cause of, unto the cause of material modes and activities. Retastu, Retaha, semen of the birth, tu indeed, Retastu indeed, that semen is the reason. You inject all the living entities into this external energy, your external energy, likewise. Retastu ajayam for begetting, kavim, and the total living entities, adde ajaha, initiated ajaha, one who is unborn. So likewise, glorifying the Lord, you inject all these living entities into the womb of this material nature. Then all the living entities come manifested. Okay, so Twamnaha Suranamasi Sanvayanam Kotastya Adhyaha Purushaha Puranaha Tvam Devasekyam Gunakarma Yonau Retastvajayayam Kavim Adadejaham Kavim Adade Ajaha. Translation. You are the original personal founder of all the demigods and orders of different gradations. Yet, you are the oldest and are unchanged. O Lord, you have no source or superior. You have impregnated the external energy with the semen of the total living entities. Yet you are unborn. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Can I request Usha Mataji to read the purport, please?
Yes, Ma'am. Hare Krishna. Papa Sila Prabhupada ki jai. The Lord, the original person, is the father of all other living entities, beginning from Brahma, the personality from whom all other living entities in different gradation of species and generated. Yet the Supreme Father has no other father. Every one of the living entities of all grades up to Brahma, the original creature of the universe, is begotten by a father but he, the Lord, has no father. When he descends to the material plane out of his causeless mercy, he accepts one of his great devotees as his father to keep pace with the rules of the material world. But since he is the Lord, he is always independent in choosing who will become his father. For example, the Lord came out of a pillar in his incarnation as Narsimha, and by the Lord's causeless mercy, Ahalya came out of a stone by the touch of the lotus feet of his incarnation as Lord Sri Ram. He is also the companion of every living entity as his super soul, but he is unchanged. The living entity changes his body in the material world, but even when the Lord is in the material world, he is ever unchanged. That is his prerogative. As confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 14.3, the Lord impregnates the external of material energy, and thus the Lord total living entities later come out in different gradations, beginning from Brahma, the first demigod, down to the insignificant ant. All gradations of living entities are manifested by Brahma and the external energy, but the Lord is original Father everyone. The relationship of every living being with the Supreme Lord is certainly one of Son and Father and not one of equality. Sometimes in love, the Son is more than the Father, but the relationship of Father and Son is one of the superior and the subordinate. Every living entity, however great he may be, even up to demigods like Brahma and Indra, is an eternally subordinate servitor of the Supreme Father. The Mahatattva principle is the generating source of all the modes of material nature, and the living entities take birth in the material world in bodies supplied by the mother material nature in terms of their previous work. The body is a gift of material nature, but the soul is originally part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Okay, Mataji. So here Prabhupada is describing the demigods are mentioning that Lord is the Kotastadhya Purushaha Puranaha. So unchanged, he is the source and he is the enjoyer and the beginning, and also Puranaha, the oldest personality of Godhead. So here Prabhupada is stressing that point. The Lord original person is the father of all other living entities, beginning from Brahma, the personality from whom all other living entities in different gradations of species are generated. So in the Bhagavad Gita, we see that Krishna is describing himself as the पिताहमस्य जगतो माता धाता पितामहः वेद्यं पवित्रम् ओंकार रुक्साम युजुरेव च. So I am the pitahamasya jagato, dhata, mata dhata, pitamaha. I am the mother also. Some mother, father, dhata, and the creator as well. So for this entire creation, entire cosmic manifestation. वेद्यं पवित्रम् ओंकारः रुक्साम युजुरेव च, रुक्साम yujur eva cha. And for all the Vedas and also for the Omkara, the pure Om, that he is the source, that is Krishna is source for everything, even for the Omkara also. That is Krishna is specifying in the Bhagavad Gita. And also he also mentions Gatir Bhatta Prabhu Sakshi Nivaha Saranam Suhrut Prabhavaha Pralayah Sthanam Nidanam Bhijam Avyayam. Again, number of things. Gatihi, ultimate goal. Gatihi Bhatta Prabhu Sakshi. He is the maintainer Gatihi Bhatta Prabhu, and he is the master. Sakshi, he is the witness. Gatir Bhatta Prabhu Sakshi, Nivasaha Saranam Suhrud, and he is the shelter, and also he is the provider of all. I mean, he supplies everything to the all the living entities. Nivasaha Saranam Suhrud, he is the one to be taken shelter of. Suhrud, he is the well-wisher. Prabhavaha Pralayah Sthanam. He is the source and also he is the resting place for all the living entities during the annihilation time. Prabhavaha Pralayah Sthanam. Nidanam Bhejam Avyayam. And he is the seed Avyayam. He is the unmanifest. He is everything. So there is nothing that we can skip. Okay, Krishna is not this. Krishna is covering in all angles everything. So Krishna is the source, original person. Yet, the Supreme Father has no other father. Every one of the living entities of all grades up to Brahma, the original creature of the universe, is begotten by the Father. But he, the Lord, has no father. But Lord has no father. And when he descends, so sometimes this is one thing when the devotees they are in the mood of love to the Lord and they become father, they wanted to become father and then Lord will be very much pleased. So getting a father and then taking the love of the father and mother is so beautiful. One has to relish that part. So Lord personally comes here to relish and taking birth as a son of Yashodhama and Nanda Maharaj, or Vasudeva and Devaki, and that love is so beautiful. So that is also one of the mode. Okay, so when he descends to the material plane out of his causeless mercy, he accepts one of his great devotees as his father to keep pace with the rules of the material world. So during that time, and then if we, who are the pure devotees of the Lord will come as his son or like that. And there would not be any bounds for the love and the happiness. Of course, sometimes in our homes, children may be naughty or something like that. Because without that naughtiness, in later times, the parents cannot release the child. They cannot. If child is always good, parents think in one kind of mood, and parents will love their children very much. And once the children grown up, and then still love is there and then parents remembering, oh, my child was so naughty, and then remembering and then taking so much of pleasure from remembering those past times. So here, when the Lord accepts one of his great devotees as his father to keep pace with the rules of the material world. But since he is the Lord, but since he is the Lord, he is always independent in choosing who will become his father. So again, it depends on his. There are so many devotees, they wanted the Lord to become their child, or some they wanted to become as a lover like that. But he can choose. He is always independent in choosing. For example, Aditi Mata, she was praying to for a kind of benediction, but Lord appeared to her, and then, oh Mother Aditi, so I wanted to become your child. Is that okay with you? Likewise, Lord, He is choosing there. And in her previous life, Aditi Mata was like Purushni and Sutapa. Kashyapa and Aditi were Sutapa and Purushni. So three lifetimes they have asked for Lord to become their child. So Lord accepted, and then He said, "I would appear as your child for three times." One is Prushnigarbha, second is the Upendra, that is Vamanadev, third one is the Krishna. So in the third time, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as He is, not the incarnation, as He is, He came as a son of Devaki and Vasudeva. He can choose his father. So, for example, the Lord came out of a pillar in His incarnation as Nrsimhadeva, and by the Lord's causeless mercy, Ahalya came out of a stone by touch of the lotus feet of his incarnation as Lord Sri Rama. So here, the Lord came as Nrsimhadeva came out of a pillar. So he chose pillar as his source. So he can come out anywhere. Andantarastam Paramanu Chayantarastam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajam. He can enter into Paramanu also. He can come out anywhere, from anywhere. And also Ahalya, so Ahalya came out of a stone. Actually, Ahalya in the Valmiki Ramayanam, she is the wife of Gautama Maharshi. So, due to the Indra's contaminating Ahalya, so later on by her austerities and penance, she was purified again by the touch of, by the time Lord Ramchandra has come. So, until that point of time, Ahalya was in invisible form and in the yogic posture, which is like a kind of a stone, but not actually stone. And then, as soon as during that time, she was invisible to everyone. She was invisible to everyone. But whenever Rama and Lakshmana were passing through that ashrama, and by touch of Lord's lotus feet, and then Ahalya, she came out into the external consciousness. And then later on, Gautama Maharshi, he also appeared there, and then taken Ahalya, and then accepted her. Uh, so it has been lot of time. So many years she has been on that yogic posture. Okay, so that we would hear this pastime in the Ramayana when Ramchandra he goes to the forest along with Vishwamitra during that time. That pastimes before while going there, it happens, and then Vishwamitra speaks the pastime. Okay, there are many other things. Okay, that we have already covered in the Ramayana. Okay, and he is also the companion of every living entity as a super soul. ईश्वरः सर्वभूतानां हृद्देशेऽर्जुन तिष्ठति भ्रामयन् सर्वभूतानि यन्त्रारूढानि मायया. So he is always accompanied with the living entity. Wherever we go, he accompanies. Either if you go as a worm in the stool, there also he is staying with us as a super soul. But that is not possible on the material plane. For a real father, if a child wanted to go and play in the mud, sometimes father may not, uh, he may not go. So that is, but here the Lord can go into wherever the living entity goes, he always accompanying as a super soul. But he is unchanged. He is unchanged. So Lord is always witnessing. भूतेन्द्रिय अंतःकरणात् प्रधान जीव संजितात् आत्मतः पृथक दृष्टा भगवान ब्रह्म संजितः. आत्मतः पृथक दृष्टा. Drashta is the seer. So he is the Upadrashta Anumanta cha Bharta Bhokta Maheshwaraha Paramatmeti Chapyukto Purushaha Prakruteh Paraha. So Lord is unchanged and he is supreme. He maintains his position as he is. It doesn't matter whether he is in the material or spiritual world. The living entity changes his body in the material world, but even when the Lord is in the material world, he is ever unchanged. That is his prerogative. Yeah, that is why once again we see whenever Prabhupada used to mention that Krishna is always youthful, even though when the Kurukshetra battle was happening, he was like a youth. तथैव चान्ये नरलोकवीरा याहव कृष्ण मुखारविन्दं नेत्रैः पिबन्तो नयनाभिरामं पादाश्रपुतुः पद्मापुरस्य. And all people in the Kurukshetra battle, when Arjuna is shooting the arrows, and they were looking at Krishna and then purified by the arrows of Arjuna, and they are going back to the Padmapurasya. So by looking at Krishna's beautiful face, Mukha Netrehi Pibantu Nainabhiramam, by drinking the beauty of Krishna there also. By the time it was everyone around in their 90 ages like that. But still he was like appearing like a very beautiful and young. Prabhupada says that We always see Krishna as young. We never see that Krishna deity also as with the gray hair like that. He is ever unchanged. And also here in our Acharyas mentions that Krishna's age eternally it is around 15 years, 11 months, something like that. And Radharani age is also 14 years and 6 months, something like that, or 7 months. That is the eternal time. But sometimes when they appear in this material world, they are already existing. So, and their appearance is also not like a materialistic that you are older or you are younger like that. Krishna has appeared just not like a ordinary birth. So appeared in front of Devaki and Vasudeva. Similarly, Radharani has appeared to Vrishabhanu in a lotus flower in the Yamuna river. So we cannot calculate this. Okay, Radharani is greater, older in age of Krishna, something like we cannot calculate. They are eternal personalities. Their appearances are not ordinary. But eternal ages are also given by the our acharyas. This is Jnana Chandra Paddhati. So this is one of the acharya. He was mentioning that one. Okay, and then further, Prabhupada is describing about the as confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord impregnates the external or material energy. So, mama yonir mahad brahma tasmin garbham dadamyaham sambhavah sarvabhutanam tato bhavati bharata. So this is the mahad yonir mahad brahma. So mama yonir mahad brahma. So this it is called mahad brahma, and then he impregnates, um, and then where sarvayonishu kaunteya murtayah sambhavanti yaha tasam brahma mahadjonir aham bija pradaha pita aham bija pradaha pita. I impregnate the material nature. I give the seed. He impregnates the external energy. So again, Dhaivat Dharminyam Swasyam Yoino Parapumana. So there is Adatya Viryam Sasota Mahatattvam Hiranmayam. Adatta Viryam Sasota. He impregnates again. The same kind of one kind of particular statement, it is stressed in number of places by number of scriptures as well, and number of personalities. So whenever we see some statements, we need to understand it is not only one particular place, number of places, it stresses that one. So Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, and also other scriptures as well. And thus the total living entities later came out in different gradations, beginning from Brahma, the first demigod, down to the insignificant ant. All gradations of the living entities are manifested by Brahma and external energy, but the Lord is original father of everyone. He is the Bhonadhrumaya, and also in this universe as Garbhodak Sai Vishnu, he is a Bhonadhrumaya, and outside of this Mahavishnu, and then Mahavishnu is 16th Kala expansion of Krishna. 16th Kala expansion of Kala is the one of the Amshas like that. 16th portion of Krishna. That is like it is described in number of places as well. Again, Bhagavatam and also Shri Brahma Samhita and also Brahma Purana variegatedly described all about Krishna. Brahma Mahapurana, it is glorifying Vaishnavas and devotional service and establishing Krishna and his devotees, and then Radharani, Goloka, Vrindavan. It is so beautiful thing. Okay, so that is here. Lord is original father of everyone. And then, okay, what is that one? Okay. And sometimes the relationship of every living being with the Supreme Lord is certainly one of son and father and not one of equality. So this is Lord is always Vibhuhu. Vibhuhu means all opulent. And Anuhu, a living entity, he is tiny. Animanam akanditam. Tada Purusha, this is also described. तदा पुरुषम आत्मानं पुरुषः प्रकृतेः परं निरन्तरं स्वयं ज्योतिः animanam akanditam. Animanam, very tiny, living entity is very tiny, whereas the Lord is the Vibhu. even though living entity is tiny, but Nirantaram Swayam Jyotihi, it is always effulgent. But it is part and parcel of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Mamaivam Jivoloke Jiva Bhutaha Sanatanaha. And sometimes in love, the son is more than the father. But the relationship of father and son is one of the superior and subordinate. Okay, so in son, so the son, whenever child is doing something good, the father appreciates, and he is more happy when son is exhibiting his qualities more than his father. Likewise, father is so much happy. So that is the love. And then every living entity, however great he may be, even up to the demigods like Brahma and Indra, is an eternally subordinate servitor of the Supreme Father. Okay, so they accept this one, Krishna as the Supreme Personality. And Mahatattva principle is the generating source of all the modes of material nature. Daiven dhruvitarkena, Daiven dhruvitarkena, by again it is same thing. Yet that, what is that? In the beginning, before it was unmanifested, it was pradhana. Later on, it becomes a prakriti. That is described here. Generating the Mahatattva is principle is the generating source of all the modes of material nature, and the living entities take birth in the material world in the body supplied by the mother material nature in terms of their previous work. So this one, how do we understand here? Generally, in our material terms, even though it cannot be, but analogy is giving like a girl is before the marriage, she doesn't have got features to give birth to the child. Later on, she will become matured in a particular state, and then later on, she will be married. Later on, the husband is going to impregnate, so in the womb of that girl, and then in the womb, so which is we can compare like a Mahatattva. So where the living entity get all kinds of ingredients so that it can manifest its form there in the womb. Kalalam tu ekaratrena pancharatrena budbudam. Dasahena tu karkanduhu pesendam va tatah param. So that semen, it will get ingredients from the womb of the mother. Likewise, here, if we understand, that is the analogy. So here it is giving, Prabhupada is explaining that Mahatattva principle is generating source of all the modes of material nature. And the living entities take birth in the material world in the body supplied by the mother material nature in terms of their previous work. This happens karmana devanetrena jantuhu deha upapattaye. स्त्रियाः प्रविष्टबुधरं पुंसां रेतः कणाश्रयः पुंसां रेतः कणाश्रयः. The living entity take the shelter of the semen of a man and enter into the womb of the mother, and then later on it keep on manifesting. Kalalam to ekaratrena, so mixing with the egg, and then it will turn into the fetus like anda. Pesendam va andam, pesendam va tataha param, and like gradually it will develop. Likewise, this material world in a gigantic form. The body is a gift of material nature, but the soul is originally part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. So here, man and woman, they are simply a cause, but actually the living entities in a higher level, they are part and parcel of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is the original cause. Here, whatever we are seeing in front of our eyes, this is effect. That is, activities are manifested in terms, but the reason is behind it is the Lord. He is putting all the living entities in the material world. Okay, so Prabhupada is very nicely describing here. So here demigods are mentioning Twamnaha Suranamasi Sanvayanam Kotaschadhyah Purushah Puranaha Tvam Dev Sekyam Gunakarma Yono Retas Pajayam Kavimada Dejaham. Okay, glorifying Lord like that you are the source of everyone. and you inject the living entities into material nature. Okay, that is from Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. We shall move to Srila Prabhupada's daily letter. Today letter to Rupanuga, November 13th, 1970, Bombay. Okay, can I request Swarup Prabhuji to read this letter?
Sure, Prabhu. Just one second. My dear Rupanuga, please accept my blessings. I beg to thank you for your letter dated October 27th, 1970, addressed to Calcutta and now redirected to me here in Bombay. We are just now receiving great publicity, and it is reported that Bombay has now got its atmosphere filled with Krishna consciousness. It is a fact, and the important members of the Bombay community are appreciating our movement. I am very glad to receive all the enclosures and see that you are forging ahead nicely for spreading Krishna consciousness on a scale from family to the greater society. For the present, I am more prominent than all Swamis. People are appreciating. What are these Swamis? They cannot go outside. There is a Bengali saying that a jackal is king in a small forest. The story is that a jackal became king in the forest by fooling the other animals for some time. But he always remained a jackal, and his ruse was at last exposed. I am very glad that you are receiving good promise of help from Mr. Gajjar. Please give him all encouragement in Krishna consciousness. Regarding Bali Mardan, he has not resigned, and until he or some other member does so, there shall not be any change in the members of the GBC. If there is such resignation, the candidates will be uh, Gaura Sundara, Mukunda, and Gurudasa for replacement by vote of the remaining members of the GBC. But why have you taken information on this important matter from Gurudasa? You should not you should not understand from Gurudasa, you should understand from me. Regarding the sentence, Prabhu, do you want to stop or continue? Prabhu, do you want to continue?
Yes, Prabhuji, please continue that one.
Regarding the sannyasis, they should be independent. Why they should take help from you? They are strong men, so they should manage on their own strength. That is the test of their effective preaching work. I am very glad to learn that the program for distributing our books in the libraries and classrooms is having such outstanding success. I have already assured this, and I have personally placed my books formally in the Library of Bombay, which they were very glad to accept. So press this matter until every library and school has fully stocked our literatures, and that will be a very real success. We have made a proposal and plan that each center shall contribute $20 monthly for the improvement of our new Vrindavana community project. I have no objection to this, but it has been already the program that every center shall send me maintenance funds of $15 per month, and since leaving Japan, I have hardly received any. I do not know if they have sent or not sent, but I have not received. So if they cannot even send my maintenance charges, you cannot depend on their sending monthly $20 for the maintenance of New Vrindavana. I have read over the GBC memo and you make the following adjustment regarding membership charges. The comparison of India to that of USA is not the exchange value of rupees and dollar in the bank, but is according to purchasing power or manifest value. So practically 1 rupee is equal to $1 by this calculation. Therefore, simply change the sign from rupees to dollar, dollar, dollar. and set the figure for life membership at $1,111. Donor membership at $555 and subscriber membership at $222. An ordinary member should pay only $5, which covers a 1 year subscription to our magazine. Another thing is that we welcome life members to participate fully in our temple programs anywhere they may travel and they may stay in the temple where they are visiting. Your plan of the Buffalo Temple is very nice. Please develop it more and more for serving the Lord. It is a very good house. The picture in which your wife and child are engaged in preaching work, it is simply wonderful. You are ideal householder and you are teaching the world who to live with wife and children as a householder. My Guru Maharaja generally used to make a sannyasi from householder, but I have created householders for preaching work, and your example is proving my attempt successful. Hope this will meet you all in good health. Your ever well wisher, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai. Thank you, Prabhuji. Any takeaway points, Prabhuji?
Sure. So this is quite a lot of things I think Srila Prabhupada is trying to address with Rupanuga Prabhu. First of all, he is talking about the Bombay Center, and he's saying that it is receiving a lot of publicity, and he feels that in Bombay the Krishna consciousness is developing very well. Um, he is then talking about he's talking about that he is more prominent than all Swamis. This part, Prabhu, I'm not very clear, but I'll try to say what I understood. Uh, then people are appreciating what are these Swamis. So I think he's questioning this part that these Swamis they can go outside, and then there is he's talking of a Bengali saying that when uh, in a small forest, jackal is a king, because by he's just pulling the other animals for some time. So um, I'm not sure, Prabhu, whether he's referring to these other swamis that maybe they are just uh, coming out in the world in the form of a swami, but he's questioning whether they are validity maybe. So I'm not sure about this
Yes,
paragraph.
Prabhuji. Yeah, that's right. Yes.
And then he is talking about some internal matters of the GDC. He's talking that he appreciates that Mr. Gajjar in Bombay has tried to commit and help this thing. So he's advising to encourage him. He's referring to the other Prabhu Balimardhan, and this is, I think, about to do with the internal matters of GBC, because I think there was maybe something was going on about his resigning, and then he will be replaced by some other people. But Prabhupada is saying that actually he has not resigned as yet. So till he resigns, there should not be any changes. And if after he resigns, I think he's naming three people who can be nominated for that position, but they should be chosen by the process that is there in the GBC by the voting of the members of the GBC. He's also questioning uh, that why he has taken he's sort of asking that why he has taken about this information from this other Prabhu Gurudasa, and without really going to Srila Prabhupada directly. So I think here he's making the point that in this kind of matters, uh, it is important to refer to him rather than listening or talking or going to other people who may not be who may not have the full authority to discuss or to decide on this kind of matter. So he's making that point, and then he's talking about the sannyasis, and it's a very important point, I think, for me to understand also, that he's saying that the sannyasis, they should be uh, independent. I think, of course, he means that they should be having their gurus, but they should be also independent, and they should not be coming for help uh, to different people. Um, saying that they are strong individuals and they should be able to stand on their own feet, on their own strength. And also he's talking of the effectiveness of the preaching work, and that is, he's saying that is the test of their effective preaching work. So again, on this point, I think I'm not 100% clear to I understand partly, but then at certain parts I'm not very clear that how that is related to the test of their effective preaching work. Um, he's appreciating the distribution of the books. He's very appreciative that the books are going to the schools. He wants them to go to all the different libraries as much as possible. Then he's talking about the $20 subscription that the Prabhu has proposed, and he's questioning whether whether really that will be a success, because the centers are finding it difficult to even send Srila Prabhupada's maintenance funds of $15 a month. So he's saying that if they cannot even fulfill that, whether this $20 program that this Prabhu is proposing for the improvement of the new Grandhavana community project, whether actually that will materialize or not. Then he's talking about the membership charges that has come out from the GBC, and then there are different kind of membership fees that he's saying that should be set for the different type of members. Also, he's saying that the life members should be encouraged to go to the different temples in the different parts of the world, and they should be able to participate in the different temple programs when they are traveling. He's appreciating the Prabhu's plan about the Bakula temple. And there also he's appreciating Prabhu living though he's being a devotee disciple, but he's a grihastha with his wife and child, and how he's engaged in the service in the temple and also in the preaching work. He's being very appreciative of, and he's saying that he can be, an example that how an householder can be very effective in preaching work um, to the rest of the world. So that he's a good example. That's what he's referring to. That's all my understanding, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Very nicely explained. Any other comments, dear devotees, you wanted to add to this letter?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sharad Prabhu. You explained very nicely. 2 points is stuck in my mind when Prabhu was reading. One is we should always get the information from the right sources, authoritative person. And otherwise, we can easily derive from this, and we can go disturbed in our Krishna consciousness. Number one, and another one was which is really stuck in my mind is that Prabhupada encouraged devotee like us. We are all girhastha. We should be preacher, and we should be set up an example by following the Krishna consciousness, how the whole world should follow. So our behavior, our character, and our uh, uh, activities will encourage the whole world to get into Krishna consciousness, or we can spread the Krishna consciousness preaching and all the distribution of the Krishna consciousness through the grihasthas like this. Haribol Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, very nicely explained, Prabhuji. Yes. Okay, any other comments, dear devotees?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Just on the jackal point, which this is mentioned in the letter, Prabhupada, he was trying to say that he was more prominent as a sannyasi than others because he was the one who could go out with his Guru Maharaj's mercy, an instruction to go out and preach. So at the age of 69, it was a very big step. But at that time, there was an influx of other Babas and sannyasis in India. Some were fake, but like not guiding people to the right direction. Like Beatles also, they went before coming to surrendering to Srila Prabhupada. George Harrison, he was like influenced by another Baba, a sannyasi. I forgot his name. And then he like for a while, like almost a year or so, and then they found out nasty things about him. So they left him and then found out Srila Prabhupada. So what he was saying is like jackal, they are very cunning. So in forest, like when there is no lion, jackal is the king. So all these sannyasis, babas, they, I mean, not coming from the parampara, disciplic succession, they are influencing people in some ways and make uh, with their dubious behavior, and people are getting trapped. So that's why Prabhupada mentioned that they are still thinking they're very popular because they're still in India, and like jackal is the king of a small forest. Like in Bengali, there's a saying, Shial Boner Raja. So jackal is a king of a forest. So, but Prabhupada was prominent. He was not exaggerating about himself, but what he has done and what with his Guru Maharaj instruction, what he could do. So he was just stressing on that point that I am more prominent than other Swamis because I could go, they cannot go outside, but Prabhupada could. So just was my reflection on that point too. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, very beautiful, Mataji. Thank you so much for stressing that point. Yes, so whoever speaks the truth as it is, like Bhagavad Gita, whatever Krishna says, that is repeating in the preaching. As simple as that. Then he can become a lion. So this jackal story, once upon a time, the jackal was going and then street dogs were chasing it. And suddenly it went into someone's home and where they have got a bluish paint and then it fall down there. And later on, once these dogs went out and this came out and then it entered into the forest usually and all the living entities there, they're looking, what is this one? Is a new creature. And then when they are talking very strangely about this one, and then it went into the water and then looked at its face that it is color is changed, bluish color, and then later on taking the advantage and explaining to all the animals in the forest that I am the king, I have come from some heaven like that, and then I came here to help you. I am the king, likewise. And even the lion also become just being quiet. Okay, so but when the time comes when there was a rain and all this paint was gone, then they have understood that it is a normal jackal only, and then chased it. It's a very beautiful pastime. Thank you, Mataji. So Prabhupada is saying Prabhupada was as it is. The line is always line. And here one more point, sannyasi should be independent all the time. He takes because he has got Swantahastena Gadabhrita. When he has the Lord in his heart, wherever he go, he knows what to do, how to execute devotional service, how to preach, and how to sustain. He maintains the purity and keeps the Lord in his heart, following all the rules and regulations, usually, naturally devotees who are the Nitya Siddhas are developed already in the Raganuga Bhakti or Prema and that stages. Okay, that is the independent comes from there, understanding the philosophies and understanding, but with the strength of their purity. Okay, that is independence, and then their preaching will go properly. That is a test. Okay, there is one point to stress. Another thing is the management things. And Prabhupada is again, this is again householder life. one must be living on the house, wife and husband, children in Krishna consciousness as a model to the other society. Okay, so that is the success. Okay, that is my takeaway. That is from Srila Prabhupada's letter. And from the announcements point of view, so today is Wednesday. We have got Kirtan evening at 8 p.m. Kirtanadeva Krishnasya Mukta Sangraha Param Raje. Kalehi Dosha Nidhe Rajan Asti He Eko Mahan Gunaha. Kirtanadeva Krishnasya Mukta Sangraha Param Raje. So devotees kindly join at 8 o'clock to sing and glorify the Lord. And then Mukta Sangraha, free from all kinds of material contamination. Okay, that is from the announcements point of view. And dear devotees, if you have got any updates or you wanted to share anything on Krishna consciousness, kindly do so. Otherwise, we shall conclude and continue with further chat. Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhu, and just on the last line that you have highlighted, this shows that how this movement, spread so quickly with ISKCON, because when he mentions that my Guru Maharaj generally used to make sannyasis from householders, so Bhakti Saraswati, Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he of course would make them sannyasis only like to the very purest one, but in the society, I think we didn't have so many, because in our ISKCON also, if you see here, like Keshav Maharaj, like just from being a Prabhu, and then for how many years, and then 20 years he became a sannyasi, but that does not happen very regularly. But what Prabhupada did, that's what he was saying, that my attempt is successful in creating householders, grihastha, in preaching work. So bringing like more people, that you have wife and children and family, and then still carry on doing as Bhakti Vinod, Bhakti, his Guru Maharaj, his father, like Bhakti Vinod Thakur, how he did, like being a grihastha and then spreading the movement. So then more people can do that. Like, of course, that purity of a sannyasi, it's not everybody. And not only purity, renunciation at a like age of younger age does not come to everybody, but being grihastha, it gives a chance to more people. So that also wanted to add. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So this is exact statements. It doesn't matter which ashrama we are in, but preaching must go on. So Runam Bhaktir Bhavishyati. So in such a preaching must be done. Yeshwarasya Anumodataha. Runam Bhaktir Bhavishyati. Iti Sankalpya Varnaya. Brahma's statements to Narada Muni. So those reflect in Prabhupada's practical preaching. And also it doesn't matter. One can make the sannyasis from the Grihastha or make the Grihasthas for preaching, but everything is success. And Prabhupada's attempt is the later one. Prabhupada created preachers from the family. Okay, that goes because it is the prominent, they are living in the society. That is how it can spread more. But if sannyasi is preaching, people may think, oh, he is sannyasi, so he can do anything, he can preach. But we are grihasthas. They may just think. But when the grihasthas are doing it, everyone thinks he is also grihastha. Why can't we? In such a way, that is iti sankalpya varnaya. That is the Brahma's instruction to Narada Muni. Prabhupada is executing that. Thank you so much, Mataji, for reflecting that. Okay, any other things? Okay, so that is we shall conclude. पञ्चकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्यः एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। Have a Krishna conscious day, everyone.